Welcome to Daily Blessings. Our subject that we want to look at this morning and we want to walk in is called Peace Through Prayer. And the verse I've chosen is from Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, through prayer and supplication, make your request known to God, and the peace of God which passes understanding shall enter your heart and soul. Be anxious for nothing. I've come to believe that we have choices in life. And one of the choices we make is, do we live in anxiety? Do we live in worry? Do we live in fear? And God says each of these is an answer. Why don't you come and talk to me and get my empowering and peace and conquer anxiety, worry, and fear? You see, faith, trust in God is sufficient to overcome each of these which I consider coming from the enemies to infiltrate my mind, to rob me of the blessing of God. There's a choice here. Talk to God about it or not to talk to God about it. You see, we're told to bring everything, all our petitions, in prayer. What is prayer? Well, it's talking to God. Someone said his prayer is a love affair between two people who love one another, one of whom is God. And God is waiting. His ear is open to you 24/7. And he says, don't be anxious. Talk to me about it. Look, I made the cattle on 1,000 hills. I've got sufficient resources, but will you come unto me as a little child and tell me and trust me? And there's rest when you come and talk to me. Tell God everything. He says, let all your petitions be known. God's not playing hide and seek. He's not going to love you any less. But he does say, name them, be specific. Name those things that are troubling you. And then I'm here to carry them for you. I'll yoke with you. And I'll be the outside yoke that will draw us along to a path of peace. Listen to what God wants to bring into your life as a fruit of knowing Him. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. The question is, will you receive His peace by faith? Will you trust the fact that He will lead you into still waters and green pastures? Will you really now lay your burdens at His feet? Ask Him, talk to Him. Ask Him to give you the measure of faith to be able to rest, the measure of faith to trust, the measure of faith to see an answer that'll be a blessing and not a cursing. See, the greatest thing we can do in life probably for us and others is to pray for them, but to talk to God yourself. Call unto me, and I will show you great and mighty things of which you know not. I think that's God's telephone number, Jeremiah 33:3. And can I encourage you then to call on Him this day? Place your burdens to someone who said, be anxious for nothing, to one who said, don't fret, and trust that it's in His hands and rest in His guidance. May God give you the joy that He's promised this day, and that'll be your daily blessing, walking in His joy. God bless.